on and been an athlete all your life, even though you've been out of the game, I assume you're still active and stayed in shape. What's it like to have something that makes you weak and not able to do what you're used to doing?
I mean, that's been the biggest struggle, I think, is you're so used to pushing through whatever the challenge is, you know, whether it's getting through more playtime with your kids or running through Florida State or Arkansas's defense. You make a way. And the hard thing is to not be able to turn that gear on and do it. And in fact, to so often not be able to do any of the things that you want to do, and early on especially to be helpless. I mean, that's a real tough thing to have to face.
Does that test your faith, or does that make your faith even stronger when something like this comes up? I read something that you had wrote, and you talked about your son, I believe, being impatient when you started praying. You're like, what's taking so long? And then you kind of had the same thing, like, Lord, what's taking so long for me to get through this?
Yeah, well, you certainly, in America, I mean, we want everything to be right. Yeah. We want to be healthy, wealthy, happy, no pain. Yeah. You know, in fact, one of the great verses that we love as Christians is, I can do all things through Christ who gives me strength. But the strange thing is that verse is at the end of a passage that actually where he's saying, I can be content in good or bad times, you know, plenty and want. And I think the challenge to accept the tough things, the painful things, is something we try to avoid, but I'm convinced that that's the doorway to deeper life, to deeper intimacy with the Lord. And so it's been tough. I don't want to minimize that, but it's also been one of the best things that's ever happened to me.
And you say that, and in part because this forced you, frankly, to sit down for a second. You can't be out and so busy and so caught up. This gave you a chance to sit down and reflect.
Yeah, I think we get so caught up in a pace, and it's just everywhere around us. We all do it. The stream's going so fast, you don't know how fast you're going. And I thought for sure I was doing fine, balanced, and boundaries and all these things. And being forced to sit down, slow down, and look back, it's really helped me realize how much energy I was burning in so many places that maybe weren't the most important. So, you know, it's a tough thing to be ill, but if it can help you kind of reprioritize and get focused and re-energize on the most important things, what a blessing.
Last thing here, tell me about your ministry work. I assume, and I shouldn't assume maybe, but as a star high school athlete, college athlete, did you see this as your life, the ministry work that you are doing now?
I didn't. It was my time in New Orleans when I got to see just some really tough things that I wasn't really had been exposed to, and things that shouldn't be, especially in our country. And so I got involved in Desire Street, and Hurricane Katrina has forced us and given us the opportunity to work in several neighborhoods. And so what we do is we come alongside grassroots leaders that live in their communities, and we empower them so that they can be the ones that make the change. So our vision is to develop 12 thriving and sustainable urban ministries in the next 5 years.
All right, and what are the doctors telling you as far as your prognosis moving forward? What are they telling you?
The doctor I saw is a 7-year-old Korean, and he said, "You're the football player." I said, "Yeah." He said, "No football for you for a while." I said, "No, I'm done." He goes, "Oh, this is good." Really, I should have full recovery with my reflexes. It's just a matter of time with energy. Fatigue could be 6 months, another year, hard to say, but whatever it is, I trust that the Lord is good and He'll take me through it.
Congratulations, really, on the work you're doing. I have been a fan. I've admired you, even though you played for Florida. Still, always admired of how you handled yourself out there on the field. But good talking to you. Good luck with the ministry and really with your health down the road. Sounds like you're going to be okay. Thanks so much. And if you'd like to read more about Danny Wuerffel's story, you can go to our Belief blog, CNN.com/belief. You can also share your thoughts there as well. We're up on 38 minutes past the hour. State of the Union with our Candy Crowley coming up, and the top of the hour, just 20 minutes from now. But before we get to that, she's going to come here, join me live. That's next with a preview of what you'll see today. Stay with us.
Where'd you go? There you are. There you go.
You always went for the tall, dark, handsome types. So who'd have ever thought the love of your life would be short and bald? Having a baby changes everything.
Scooter, your father loves your new Progresso Rich and Hearty Steak Burger Soup.
I love this new soup.
It's his 2 favorite things in one.
Burgers and soup.
Did you hear him, honey? Burgers and soup. Love you.
They're cute.
Progresso, you gotta taste this soup.
Montgomery and Abigail Higgins had a tree that bore the most rare and magical fruit, which provided for their every financial need. And then, in one blinding blink of an eye, their tree had given its last. But with their Raymond James financial advisor, they had prepared for even the unthinkable. And they danced. See what a Raymond James advisor can do for you.
CNN Tonight, 8 Eastern. A brutal death, caught on camera, random act of violence, or mission of hate. CNN investigates. Is Mississippi still burning? CNN Tonight, 8 Eastern.
These 8 black entrepreneurs want to change the game in Silicon Valley.
This is history.
Soledad O'Brien reports. Black in America, Silicon Valley. CNN Sunday, November 13th.
What's better than saving money? Saving all year long. Savings keep calling when you switch to Cox Digital Telephone. For just $29.99 a month, you'll get unlimited long distance and all your favorite features. Plus, save $10 every month versus the old phone company. So ring up the savings. Get Cox Digital Telephone and our best deal today.
At Cigars, Prime Steaks and Seafood, romantic sparks aren't the only ones that fly. Chef McAdoo's stellar cuisine has made Cigars the hottest place to dine in Destin. The Emerald Coast's first AAA 4-diamond restaurant, Cigars, is known for its superb service and award-winning wine list. At Cigars, you can be dazzled by our tableside service or relax in our intimate lounge with our signature cocktails. Cigars is for those who believe that every day deserves a little sizzle.
Anderson Cooper 360. CNN Monday night at 8 and 10 Eastern.
All right, 41 minutes past the hour. Now, let's say good morning to our Candy Crowley. She's coming up at the top of the hour with State of the Union. Candy, always good to see you. And you get guests, you get 2 guests on one Sunday. I've been trying for years to get these guests on my show, and they won't ever stop by. But you've got the Secretary of State and the Vice President. Let's start with Secretary Clinton, first of all. I assume a big topic of discussion, what's happening in Libya and the fall of Muammar Gaddafi.
Sure. I mean, we had 2 major pieces of history pass through this week, and one was the death of Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, and the other was, for sure, troops are coming out of, U.S. troops are coming out of Iraq. So the Arab world is shifting, and obviously getting the Secretary of State on to talk about Libya, to talk about the way Muammar Gaddafi died, to talk about what's next for Libya, and also what's next for Iraq. So 2 really big subjects, which the U.S. has a lot at stake.
Yeah, 2 big subjects, or like I mentioned, 2 big guests. Again, both of them people will see on your show here in just a few minutes. The other being the Vice President. Got to spend some time with him as well.
Did. Well, we actually were up in New Hampshire with him. He was up there campaigning and, believe it or not, submitting the papers so that President Obama can run in the New Hampshire primary. They were due this past week. So we went up there and followed him around. He's so totally in his element when he's out talking to people. He is a very gregarious, fun-loving guy who really seems to enjoy being out there on the campaign trail. So we wanted to talk a little politics, a little policy. He's always a great interview.
And did I hear that right? He went up there to drop off some paperwork for the president?
That's right. It was symbolic. But indeed he did. And said at the time, well, gee, you know, I got it wrong the first 2 times because, you know, Joe Biden has run twice for president. So he filed the papers for the president so that the president can run in the New Hampshire primary.
That's a good vice president. They have all kinds of duties. They're supposed to serve at the pleasure of the president, right? And the president hands you papers and go drop this off. That's what you do. All right, Candy, and we really missed you in Las Vegas for the debate last week.
I missed you, too.
Really missed
I
you.
watched you. You did a great job.
Well, I appreciate you as always. We're going to be watching you do your great job here in just a few minutes. Top of the hour, Candy Crowley, 9 o'clock Eastern Time, State of the Union. You heard her, 2 big interviews. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, also the Vice President Joe Biden, both on Candy's show. Candy, have a good one. Now, also coming up in just a moment, it seems the crisis has been averted. You know, the dust-up between New Hampshire and Nevada over when they're going to have their primary and caucus. Well, the woman who was at the center of that dust-up, Amy Tarkanian, the head of the GOP out in Nevada, she will be my guest here in just a moment. Stay with us.
every time a local business opens its doors, or creates another laptop bag, or hires another employee. It's not just good for business. It's good for the entire community. At Bank of America, we know the impact that local businesses have on communities. That's why we extended $7.8 billion to small businesses across the country so far this year. Because the more we help them, the more we help make opportunity possible.
How mad is she?
She kicked me out, but I took the best stuff.
I'll get the wrench.
Kohler's Tresham Collection. Life with a twist.
At Transamerica, we are the tomorrow makers. We're making tomorrows like clockwork. For all the different things our customers planned for. Like a college education. Or the perfect wedding. We're making them a better financial future. What can we make with you? Transamerica. Transform tomorrow.
Our 4 new Rich and Hearty soups really have people talking.
Ring, ring.
Progresso.
I love your new loaded potato with bacon.
That's what we like to hear.
Ring, ring.
Progresso. Switch our phone service.
Ring, ring.
No, I think we're pretty happy with our phones.
Progresso, you gotta taste this soup.
There's just something about Werther's caramel that makes a chocolate so smooth and creamy. You don't just taste it, you feel it.
Do you believe in magic? It's magic.
It's a comfort